Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button. If my voice sounds a bit far away, it's because I'm trying a new mic out. Just let me know in the comments. And before we get started, sorry I haven't posted in a while. We actually moved and things are getting serious, so I haven't had time. Except for when Dolany TV, of course, wants to live stream an NHL game, I'll hop on for that. Just enjoy my time a bit before anything. But anyway, let's get back to the video here. As today we are discussing the potential lineups of this series right on your screen. The first round of the playoffs, 5 games, Edmonton versus Chicago, and we are going to do projected lines and probably some more discussion after that. So, for the forwards, it's easy. McDavid's going to center that first line forward. These are my projected lines. I'd go with them just based on experience, how they played this season so far, and so forth. So, of course, you got Kazian with McDavid on that first line, but I put Tyler Ennis. I think there was some chemistry growing there that you could put Ennis, or you can move him down to the third line for a guy I got down there. So I think that line was starting to get chemistry, just got taken apart way too easily, and there we go. Second line, you got the Nuge, Draisaitl, Yamamoto line. You can't complain about that line. That line has been stellar. They chemistry galore. It's a shoot first mentality with them, and it's paid off. Now I said the third line I could take a player off. That's James Neal. You could put him in Ennis' spot, move Ennis down to the third line with Sheehan and Archibald, which have been, Sheehan and Archibald arguably penalty killing wise, 5-on-5 wise, their line maybe haven't put up points, but has been a stellar line for the Edmonton Oilers. Fourth line. So there was abundance of players and how you could bring a bunch of players up and stuff and the roster size limit. So this line, I kind of threw together. I don't know if it's going to stick or not, but I think I could put a couple players in one player spot. I got Nygaard, Haas, and Chiasson. Now, Chiasson on that line is the physical presence with Haas. Then you got the speed of Haas and Nygaard. Nygaard can blow by anyone, and I prefer Haas in that center position over Kara any day. Even Robert was saying, look, they can't have Kara playing center. Kara's a winger. He's not a natural center, and I agree with that. So then your extras would be, of course, Kara. I put Tyler Benson as an extra call-up, Russell, and double A, so Anthony Nisu. Those guys could put in your lineup anytime, any day of the night if you're slouching. Now, of course, there could be more players on this roster that could just be like, here's some practice time while we go into the playoffs so you're fresh for training camp and all that. So on defense, first 2 lines are pretty easy to figure out. Klefbom, Larson, Nurse, Bear. Top 4, we all know that Bear's been exceptional. Now, the third line is where it gets tricky because this is happening if everyone is healthy. And I have Russell and Green as our third line pairing. While you might not agree with me with that, for this here, I am going with the veteran presence, the playoff experience. Russell and Green have playoff experience galore. And you know what? They know how to compete. And having that, they're a bit older line, but having that experience to mature, like the Ethan Bear, the Darnell Nurse, the William Legason, the Caleb Jones, could be a huge factor in Edmonton's development in those guys when they aren't here anymore. So I believe that line actually could be a really decent shutdown line, and Green can control a power play. That's what struggled late in the season, was the quarterback on our power play And it gives us a guy that could shoot on that third line pairing that, you know what, it might go in actually, and you don't have to just hope that it hits the net. Now, I also have Benning, Legason, and Jones as backups to play. Of course, we probably all know Bouchard will be up there. And like I said with the forwards, he could be one of those guys that are just there to get reps in with the team, learn, and that's pretty much all. He might see a playoff game, who knows? I think that's more of a long shot in the sense. And then starting goalies. My starter is Mike Smith. I believe Mike Smith, with the playoff experience, it all comes down to experience in the playoffs, and I believe Mike Smith can get the job done for the Edmonton Oilers in the first round. And if he struggles, you put Koskinen in it. That's no doubt about that. So now Koskinen's the backup in this sense. Now, well, Brandon, you could bring up as many goalies as you like. Well, yeah, but why would we do that? I have Starrett up here just as an emergency backup. It could be Skinner. I believe Starrett has shown he deserves it over the last few years with the Condors. And I believe he should be able to get a shot or even just practice with the Edmonton Oilers. I believe Skinner's still 2-3 years away from even trying to crack this lineup. So that's that. Now, like I said, there's going to be more discussion. So, I know a lot of people reading articles a lot where, yeah, I like this format. No, I don't like this format. I agree with some of the points from each side. For me, do I think it's fair that we have to play the Chicago Blackhawks first and get, I'm going to say unlucky because of all the experience they have? Yeah, it is. Because Chicago, when the season ended, had a 4% chance of making the playoffs. Now they're making the playoffs. Like, things could have changed. I believe that there should have been, you know what, play 4 games before the playoffs, and that goes to your standings to mix things up a bit. But you know what? It is what it is. So now a 5-game series, which I don't mind. I watch a lot of baseball, and the first series is always 5, then 7, then 7. It makes the World Series come a bit faster to me. So in a 5-game series, my prediction is it's going to be 4 games, and the Edmonton Oilers are going to win 3-1. Unless that happens like on your screen where they score with 1.6 seconds left. But I believe that Edmonton will win in 4 games just because they have the mentality. They have the heart. Chicago is on a downhill spiral with a lot of their veterans, and you got to think, okay, this break is 3 months, maybe 4 before the playoffs even start. Okay, that's a fresh Connor McDavid. You do not want to be putting your old guys like Duncan Keith and Brett Seabrook against the fresh McDavid. We all know what McDavid could do with his speed. Now, what about Draisaitl? Same thing. He's like, I know their guys come in fresh, but we got the top 2 scorers in the league and arguably the top, 2 of the top 5 best players in the NHL on our team. Kane is good, but you know what? I think Edmonton has the better chance of winning, and I believe the goaltending and forwards are in Edmonton's favor. I think the Chicago Blackhawks have a slight edge on the defensive side, but that's me. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one.